Hello, I want to summarize the discussion group from last week. First, I want to start out by saying that the participation and the depth of reflection that was put into the discussion board was A plus by everybody who participated. A quick summary of some of the poems that we talked about, like a word that somersaults through the air, the story of how the young man tried to save his family and how he they got evicted from their house and he struck the policeman and the gun went flying and um, it really brings to light the injustices that people face, and some through racism. Rednecks, what a great title, only to turn out it was about going past superficiality and falling in love with a woman who's burned by the fire, looking at a deeper person. The moon shatters and the alliterations of the beautiful literary work that was put into that poem. Advice to young poets not to give up. Um, the poet in the box, I think, really struck me the most. I mean, Tiburon was a nice poem too, don't get me wrong. But the poet in the box about the fellow who is in jail, but still finds himself and his voice in that confined space. And how maybe jail is a metaphor for just life when we feel we are trapped into a situation we can't get beyond. Um, we could go on with what the poems meant, but I think the important point was that there was a lot of discussion, and a discussions about leadership, social justice and identity, finding one's identity, and being able to begin at every step. A crisis occurs, you can begin again. These are topics that we've talked about with leadership. Relatable and concrete. To be a good leader, we have to be somebody that others can relate to with concrete types of messages. There are words a leader should say should be well thought out. And it brings to light the importance that words have meaning. They stick with us. They drive us, they motivate us, they impassion us, and they hurt us. So words have meaning, so we have to think them out. And as leaders, that's an important thing. Focusing on opportunities, not problems. I can't stress that enough. Being able to make lemonade out of lemons, all those old cliche sayings are really worth understanding and practicing in one's life, because it doesn't get any easier if you just dwell on the problem. But by trying to think about how you can resolve it or turn a problem into an opportunity, you'll find many blessings in that. Leadership can't be judged by outward appearances, directly from the poem Rednecks, but also about looking at our leaders. I always think of Abraham Lincoln, how this was a guy who tried 7 times to run for office. 7 times. I can't even imagine being rejected 7 times, but didn't give up and continued to go on. So these were some of the big thoughts. I got a real happy charge from the comment about how this poet and Bob Marley took, literature and music, and both talked about social justice and peace as their method of leadership in bringing out what their messages are. So that's the message for this week from the discussion board. Look at my detailed message of what we're going to do throughout this week. You will see that in the content folder there is a presentation with a little quiz at the end to help you identify your leadership style. In the discussion board there are 2 student presentations with a discussion board question. And thirdly, in the PowerPoint, as well as the discussion, as well as the quiz, there is the question to ponder in your blog. Your blog partner has been identified in if you go to the wiki on Blackboard, where you signed up, put your blog address in, your partner is there. So start to look at your partner's blog, as well as writing a few sentences about what we talked about today. So thanks very much. Great discussion board participation. This is what I would like to see every week, because it's the most meaningful for you. And a special thank you to Walker, he did a fabulous job in monitoring the discussion board, responding to people's posts, and making the class very engaging. So thank you, and have a great day. Bye-bye.